and now I forgot it. Okay.
That's going in.
Okay, so
Okay.
you can only ever take one more. No, see what I mean? I'm trying to word it right so for the rest of your gaming career, you can only have one partner. Which is the partner you choose from another game?
As in an NPC?
Yes.
When you say partner, as in like an
existing partner?
A love partner?
A companion.
Companion, okay.
Then.
Okay.
The companion cube.
See, I knew what I was trying to say.
So for the rest of our gaming career, so every game we play from now
will
on...
only be with this person.
Only be with this...
Can they be a main character?
No, it needs to be an existing...
Companion character.
Oh, so it can't be like Ashley from Resident Evil.
Well, it very much could be Ashley from Resident Evil, and that would be the worst choice you've ever made.
No, if you're going from the first Resident Evil 4, that's like the best choice because you just leave her in a bin.
True.
Very true.
True.
Come back to the dumpster when everything's dealt with, and then
I'm going to go for the obvious choice and kind of say anyone from The Last of Us.
You're going to say Ellie from The Last of Us, aren't you?
Well, probably not, because in the first game, Ellie's a little bit useless, but not like too useless. But like someone maybe like Tommy. But the reason being is they can't get caught by NPCs.
Well, Brad, NPCs don't exist in real life.
I don't know.
Yeah, but this is if we continue playing games for the rest of our life.
Oh, sorry. I thought this was they sit on the couch next to you while you play games.
You see why it was hard to phrase? I've got it.
Who's right, me or Joe?
You, Brad, believe it.
Okay, good.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so every game we play from now on has this companion. So I'm going to say Tommy from The Last of Us.
I don't know. I think...
although Atreus can fire arrows.
Yeah. Garrus is pretty cool from Mass Effect.
Oh, yes.
And he's pretty funny. So, and he's got a sniper, so always got my back, my best buddy.
And he can fly hover cars really well.
Yes. So
I already had the thought of, well, is Kirby sort of a side character?
No, he's the main character.
Luigi, though.
You can have Waddle Dee.
Yeah.
I think I'll take Sheva, because obviously what you need is somebody to pick up all the ammo, then fire off all the ammo, and then stand in front of you while you use your ammo.
I think
she's trying to steal it out of the end of your gun.
Resident Evil companions are the worst.
Also, standing in doorways, that's always a bonus, I find.
Yeah, of course.
That's what I like about The Last of Us ones.
Every NPC in Skyrim.
Yeah. That's what I like about The Last of Us ones, because you don't influence gameplay at all.
They're just there. But then again, it is a bit immersion breaking sometimes when Ellie's like stood right next to a clicker.
True.
You're like, Ellie,
no.
Ellie, no.
Then you get caught.
Yeah.
How about you, Joe? What do you think?
Ooh, I think I would go the boat from the Wind Waker.
Yes.
Because at any time I could just summon him and go out on the open water and leave this world behind.
But what about when you're on dry land?
Fantastic.
I could use
a puddle.
Yeah, just launch him into a puddle.
It'd be right.
You could say Roach.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah, Roach.
What about...
That's quite good.
Aku from Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah?
Extra life all the time.
Okay. Everyone's got better answers than me.
I was torn between either Boone from Fallout 4 or Kate.
Oh.
Because Kate's a psychopath on jet. You give her a baseball bat, she kills anything. You have no
Is she
problem.
the one that's the journalist?
No, she's the pit fighter, Kate.
Oh, okay.
I actually don't know any characters in Fallout. And
Boone
I played Fallout 4.
is a sniper. You find him in a dinosaur head outside a cafe.
The Valentine guy, what's he called?
Oh, the
Silver Shadow.
The synth.
Yeah.
The synth guy.
Yes, him.
Yeah, I really liked him. I heard him on me all the time. I thought the sniper guy was from New Vegas.
I think he's New Vegas, sorry, yeah. New Vegas is Boone.
You're missing the greatest one from Fallout of all, Dogmeat.
That's what I said before, Dogmeat.
Yeah,
take him or leave him, I'm afraid. Because I get that I have to protect him.
Yeah.
Feel.
He gets up on his own, you know.
If it's a person, stuff him.
You can't give him a gun as well.
Yeah, if it's
you can smash all your guns on him.
Yeah, power armor as well.
What about any of the companions from Left 4 Dead? Because they'll do anything to pick you up.
That's true.
They'll literally run through the zombie horde just to pick you up. It's great.
Pills here.
Yeah, good one.
Well,
That's a good question. I like that.
That being said, hello and welcome to another episode of Gaming Garnish. We are a podcast. Enjoy.
What gave it away?
I'm your host this week. My name is Ben. I'm joined as usual by Joe.
Hello.
Brad.
Hello.
And Jake.
I'm not used to getting shouted out first.
Well, you were in the right place on my monitor, so. So we'll jump right into it. What have we been playing? Brad.
Me? I thought you were going to go, Joe. I'm really sorry,
complained,
guys.
didn't he?
Yeah,
it's gonna be a big one, isn't it?
It's going to be a big one. I've got quite a lot to talk about.
Oh dear.
So, first up, I finished Astrobot.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
I enjoyed it.
I was going to say overall thoughts.
I must have finished it just after we recorded last because it feels like ages ago that I finished it. But I think, to be honest, I don't want to dwell on it for too long because my overall thoughts didn't change.
Yeah.
From last time. Really enjoyed it. I quite liked the more challenging levels towards the end. So I did everything. I didn't 100% it, but I got all like the bots and all the puzzle pieces. So at that I could unlock the final mission and do that.
That's pretty much 100%, isn't it?
Yeah, but I didn't get like all the what they called the gotcha things. And I didn't, grind all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I made sure to do all of the levels that were in the game, other than the time trials.
They were added later, I suppose.
Yeah, but I did like the snow level, the winter level and stuff.
Oh, nice. It's cool. Like, it's got like all the powers in, hasn't it?
Yeah. But ultimately, really enjoyed it. It held out all the way through to the end. Yeah, weird. And you do get the Gatling gun.
When do you get the Gatling gun?
In the end credits.
Yes. You do.
You're running through the credits.
Speaking of those credits,
they are really cool credits.
Yeah, done.
But you can shoot the names.
Yes.
So it's not quite as good as Smash Bros. Level credits, but it was like almost there. So yeah.
So Smash Bros. Credits were the ones from Melee.
Melee, the one where you're flying and you're shooting him.
Yeah.
I always thought there would be a secret for shooting every name.
Yeah.
Is it even possible to shoot every name?
I
think I've got close before.
Yeah, never found out.
We never found out.
I think there was always like rumors you'd unlock Ridley or something, but obviously
rumors.
That wasn't true. Yeah. So when I finished Astrobot, I didn't really want a palate cleanser, but I didn't want to jump into something big like right away. So I jumped into South of Midnight.
Cool. Which has just come out, isn't it?
It has come out. And I finished South of Midnight.
Wow, is it short?
Good or short?
Both, to be fair. So it is quite short. It's depending on how much you sort of like explore, 9 to 12 hours. And when I say explore, it's a very linear game, like incredibly linear. But for every path you take, it's one of these games, where you click like the right stick in and it'll tell you where to go.
Yeah.
Which is lovely. But when there's like a fork in the road, you can click that. You need to go that way. So you'll go the other way and you'll find resources.
Okay, cool.
But other than that, very, very linear. So if you're trying to get all the resources to like upgrade your abilities, then it takes a bit longer, but you could probably just beeline it and get through. But ultimately, I really enjoyed it. If anyone's looked it up online, seen a lot of reviews, everyone's kind of saying the same things, which is my thoughts. So apologies. Everyone's probably heard my review somewhere else anyway. But essentially, it's a game that is a really good example of the games as art, as we discussed a few episodes back, where it looks beautiful, it sounds beautiful, it's beautifully acted. The only thing that lets it down is the gameplay. And it's not that it's bad, it's serviceable.
It's just okay.
It's just okay, yeah. But I never found, even towards the end, I was never like sick of it because it doesn't overuse anything. It's not a really long game or anything. And the environments is what you kind of keeps you coming back.
Okay.
Yeah, the gameplay just didn't wow you at any point.
No, and that's basically the sentiments most people feel. It's just fine, it's not particularly hard. Some earlier moments in the game, whilst you're getting timings right, I did die a few times and it felt a bit cheap, a bit like you couldn't really read enemies very well.
I heard this.
But as you started to familiarize yourself a bit, it kind of towards the end of the game, it was the opposite and it was almost too easy.
Okay.
Is that due
Right.
to the animation style? Is it the stop motion all the way through, or just in the cutscenes?
You can toggle it.
Oh,
I thought you could toggle it in both gameplay and cutscenes, but I couldn't find an option for that. It was just on or off either way.
yeah.
And I started with it on, and it was fine. It wasn't anywhere near as jarring as I expected it to be. It's almost like when you push forward on the stick, or when you attack or do anything like that, it's almost like those animations aren't stop motion. But when you idle, like when you let go of the stick and your character comes to a stop and you do a bit of an idle animation, it's almost like that's stop motion, and other things in the world are.
Yeah, that's what the showcases always look like.
Yeah, so I think that might be how they get away from you feeling sick playing it.
Okay. Yeah.
It just got to a point for me where those weird little bits where you're idled and it goes stop motion, it almost felt like the frames were dipping.
Okay.
Because technically it kind of is.
Yeah.
It felt like it was having a performance hiccup. So I ended up actually just turning it off in the end, and just playing it smooth. And
Fair enough.
it ran very well, on the Series S.
Clearly
It was fine.
intended then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How is the music? Because I've heard that's one of the big things.
Yeah, so the music's interesting because of where it's set in like sort of the deep south of America. It's music's a big thing. And so it's like all the culture around there. So there's always like a musical score in the background of each level. I think there's maybe 13 chapters overall, something like that. And what you'll find is little bits of like a musical score in the background, like hinting at something more. And then when you get to the end section, it might be a boss, it might be a platforming section, whatever it might be, those little bits of the score will all come together in like a big song.
Oh, I love
And
that.
Okay.
sometimes it's sung by one of the characters who you've just been introduced to. And sometimes, well, to be fair, maybe all the time it is, but it's sometimes hard to tell. Some of the songs are fine, not great. Some of them do sort of earworm, but it's a nice touch.
Yeah, definitely.
And there are times when you can tell like there'll be a bunch of like lyrics in like a verse, and then maybe you've not progressed fast enough, so then it'll just start looping, not the words but like the music. So you get to the next point and it can do that.
Cool
but
idea.
it does it in a way, it doesn't feel obvious. It doesn't feel jarring. It flows nicely.
Is it
That's
music
pretty
that the
sick.
characters can hear? Or is it just stuff for the player?
I think it's just for the player, to be honest.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but it didn't give me the impression that it was.
So there's no musical characters in the game
No.
that are singing the stuff? No.
No, not from the impression I got. There was one point where it did look like one of the characters was singing, but that was only one point.
Because I love it in games where like the music is in universe.
Yeah.
Like The Witcher was great for that.
As I say, I didn't quite get that impression, but maybe I've just missed something.
Cyberpunk's very like that as well.
Yeah.
To be fair.
But it was really well done. There were some times when it felt a bit jarring, like it did kind of come out of nowhere. But for the most part, it was really good, and the story was really good. These songs basically retold the chapter that you've done. So what you're essentially doing most times, it's kind of like the same thing every time. You'll go to an area, and there'll be a lot of like decay in the area. It's got a stigma, it's called. And that stigma is being caused because someone in the area has like a dark past, or an event has happened to them that is really dark, and that's causing this stigma. Essentially, you as your character, as the Weaver, you have to go and basically help fix, not that's necessarily help fix them, but help unravel the stigma and essentially set the person free from the pain and torment of what they've gone through. And some of those stories are really dark. Like I'm talking killing kids dark. Like it goes places, but they're really sort of like well written. And then what you'll do is once you've learned the story, so you'll learn it over the chapter, is at the end it'll essentially recap it in this song as you are unraveling the
Very
stigma,
cool idea.
which sometimes it's a boss, sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
It reminds me as a whole a bit like Kenna Bridge of Spirits. Like that was probably better in the gameplay department. But that was the same sort of thing, looking for souls, like tormented souls almost. And it has the same sort of like production quality, different aesthetic, but still like as good, but just in a different way.
Cool. Yeah, I really like Kenner actually. I had some really good gameplay.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend anyone give it a go. It's on Game Pass.
Yeah.
And you'll know pretty quickly whether it's going to vibe with you. It doesn't change much after the first. They do try and introduce new enemies throughout the game, for example.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it doesn't change much after the first few hours. But if the story hooks enough,
Yeah.
it'll keep going back, and there's a good twist in it. Yeah.
I imagine there's a mode as well. If people aren't feeling the gameplay, they can just set it on easy, breeze through.
There was different
story
difficulties.
mode.
Yeah, I don't know if you could change partway through, but it was easy enough, to be honest.
Fair enough.
That I probably wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't need to change it. So that was South of Midnight, and I have been playing another game, which may or may not have been spoiled in the Discord by one Nadia. Thank you for that. So I started because I felt like one of us in the podcast needed to have an actual first-hand experience with Dragon Age: The Veilguard.
Okay, after some slander, I suppose.
So I thought someone has to do it. So I've started that. I'm not very far through it.
Is that called one for the team?
I took one for the team. So to be fair, I've put a few hours into it. So I feel like I can talk about it at least a little bit. First off, character creation, probably the best I've ever had.
Really?
Wow.
Really?
Like, even
It does
Lucy
look
said my character actually looks like me.
Damn, you have to send pictures.
I don't
Don't
think
they
it
have
looks
like
exactly
weird
like me.
proportions in this game though? Like, they got big heads.
Yeah, but like
Yeah, it looks like him. Like I said.
screw you guys. Like an artistic representation of me in the game.
Okay.
And there's so many options, which is obviously really good. And I'm enjoying it so far. I'm not 100% sold on it.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. So I've decided to play Rogue because I thought that would be a little bit different. I don't usually play a Rogue in games. So dual wielding, which is right up my cup of tea, but then some like ranged attacks and
Right up my cup of tea.
right up
Don't
my
get
cup of
them
tea.
like that,
I was umming and ahhing between playing the Rogue and the Mage, but I have gone for the Rogue in the end. And I'm enjoying the gameplay. The gameplay feels really good. The story is fine, but the writing...
Oh, here we go.
It's like the game is like the complete opposite of South Midnight, where the gameplay is good, but the writing just feels like everyone was complaining about the writing.
Yeah.
And I can see where they're coming from. Everything that anyone says is like said. It's like it's in an MCU film, but they're very like chirpy and cheery and like sarcastic and jokey about everything.
I've heard where they really complain a lot about things.
Yeah, but even when they're complaining, it almost is like,
hey, you guys, this is terrible.
Happy. Yeah, I don't know how to describe it, but
we happy few.
Nothing seems serious.
Isn't the world ending?
Yeah, but nothing.
Nothing being sad about it.
Nothing that they're saying is like presented.
What are you gonna do? It's the end of the world.
There was one character who I can't remember her name. She's not one of the main party, but I think her voice acting is bad. Like, actually bad.
Oh no,
we're talking original Oblivion bad.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah, no. I don't know. Just like what she's saying just isn't really coming across in her tone of voice at all, and it just feels like, I don't know, there's something about the writing and the voice acting, it's just not working for me whatsoever. And it's having a much bigger impact on me than I thought it would, because I thought I could very easily just get past that.
Does it keep taking you out of the game?
It kind of does. Like, I'm kind of playing it, especially if Lucy sat there, and I'm almost like a bit embarrassed.
I don't know. Call me playing Veilguard.
But I am enjoying it when I'm playing it. Like, I'm wanting to get to the next combat sequence.
You want to try playing Kingdom Hearts?
So,
yeah. I imagine
that was embarrassing. What are you playing, Jake? It's just really fun. It's like a almost Final Fantasy game, and then you just take.
What's Donald Duck doing there?
But at least that's what the character.
The key to your heart, Sora.
Oh
my God!
But at least those characters are recognizable. As being like that. Well, there's just something about it where, as I say, it's a really pretty looking game. There's some really, really good parts. Really, really good parts. I'm just, at the moment, maybe things will change, but the writing and the voice acting is almost bringing it down so much
How are you finding the interruptions to the combat? Is it as regular as people say? Because
at the moment, yes, I'm really wanting to get back to the combat, but I feel like I'm being dragged out all the time for this bad writing and
one of the biggest things I've heard about it. Shamak in the Discord, shout out Shamak, had said when he played it, he was just so frustrated that he couldn't just get on with it. He wanted to carry on because, like I say, the fighting's ace.
I'm enjoying it. So I'll stick with it for a little bit longer for the main reason that Doom comes out soon. And I don't want to start anything else. I feel like
my bit. God.
I feel like this is good because by the time Doom comes out, I'll probably be ready to drop this. And if I'm not, it means I'm really enjoying it and I'm not going to be too bothered.
Very true.
So that's why I'm going to stick with it and not just divert to something else. It does kind of
show that, like, you know, just one part of your game.
It matters.
Yeah, but the weird thing is, South of Midnight's gameplay was very average.
But clearly,
but it wasn't bad.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
True.
And then clearly, its story and it's the music and everything like propels it.
Carried it. Yeah.
Like I kept wanting to go back to playing that. Every time I had a second, I wanted to play South of Midnight. I'd boot it up for like 20 minutes or 10 minutes here and there if I could. But Dragon Age, I'm not feeling that at the moment. But I'm hoping I change my mind. But
so
we'll see.
On that
thread,
on that thread, I'm going to jump in and do what I've been playing, which is nothing. So a little game adjacent. I went to watch a Minecraft movie with Sophia. Overall, just all right. You know, it was all right. I had a laugh with myself. It was good because I was with the child.
How was the movie atmosphere? Yeah, I've heard a lot of people complaining about the riots in the theatre.
It wasn't rioty, but like Sophia went, chicken jockey kind of moment, and you know, but
why?
Because it's just become a thing, hasn't it? It's become a thing. There's just a few phrases from Jack Black in it that people are copying, and also
Steve.
There's a song that he did for a chicken
Steve's
lava shack.
Chicken.
Is now in the top 40s apparently, and it's like the shortest song to ever do it. It's like 30 seconds or something.
I've heard especially if you've got kids. It's a film for kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think there's a lot of Minecraft adults who maybe wanted it to be more tailored towards them, which was never going to happen.
No. Even though Minecraft came out ages ago, and the fans are all adults.
Yeah, but imagine if they made a Pokemon film that was dark and gritty. You know what I mean?
They did. It's Detective
Don't say Detective Pikachu. You're ruining my point, Joe.
But that wasn't Nye as Mewtwo.
But that wasn't that dark. Like it was still aimed at kids. Yeah. But it was like on the darker edge of it, wasn't it? So I get that it's not for them. It is for kids. So if you go in with that mindset, I believe it is actually all right.
Actually, me and Anya both went in with the mindset that we would probably absolutely hate it. If I'm quite honest, we both did. We're like, right, it's got a couple of Four Horsemen of the films in. We don't want to really go, but Sophia does. Yeah. So we went, and believe it or not, we chuckled along, and it was all right. But again, exactly like you said, because I went with a child and it's for a child, that's why it was good to us, I guess.
Yeah, good.
The next part was, it's not me. I've probably lost my Steam Deck, but Anya started playing a game on my Steam Deck.
Oh,
is it Doom by any chance?
No, I wish it would have been brilliant.
Because when you said I stole your bit by mentioning Doom,
no, that's later.
Oh, okay.
She started playing Stardew Valley because she got on very well with Animal Crossing.
Okay,
and
she knows she can get that on her phone, right?
I know, but she likes the handheld.
She likes Ben to get off the Steam Deck.
Yeah, maybe.
She has a farm to tend, Ben. The farm must grow.
So
produce.
She's actually getting into it, and the link that I made there was from her point of view on playing this game. So she's probably put about 10 hours in so far, and from her point of view from it, she looked at it and she didn't want to play it, and it was the 8-bit look.
That style,
yeah. Oh, it's all part of the charm.
I know, but if you're not a gamer, you don't see that.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true. Exactly that. And because she's come from playing Animal Crossing, she's not a gamer, she doesn't really like it, but certain things just grab her and she wants to do it. So I knew Stardew Valley would. So I said, go on, have a go. So I handed her the Steam Deck to try it, and she absolutely loved it straight away. And then afterwards she said, I definitely wouldn't have played it if you didn't make me, because it looks terrible.
This is the thing.
Terrible.
When I try and pick games for me and Lucy to play, art style is one of the things right at the front of my brain, because I know that if it looks like, even if it's got the best story ever, if it looks a bit garbage or not traditional, like
HD
amazing graphics, then they're not going to be. It's the first thing you see. It's like when you eat food, the smell. The first thing you do is you see it and you smell it.
Yeah,
and I feel like
I get it. For people who don't play games often.
Yeah.
So I did explain to her
smell the pixels.
It's art design rather than limitation, and because in her brain, obviously, it's limitation from looking at old school retro games like I play on.
Guy. So it probably is a limitation as well, but.
So so far she can't get over the sheer volume of stuff in it. All her comparisons are Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
So she can't get over how much stuff is and how much progression she can actually make in it quite quickly, not having to satisfy Tom Nook's wait a day moment. I thought it was interesting from a non-gamer's point of view.
Yeah, definitely.
But how now that has gone completely, she doesn't even think about how it looks because the gameplay has taken over.
And the thing is, there are loads of Stardew Valley copycats that are full 3D games with HD graphics, like Genshin Impact. But they're nowhere near as engaging as Stardew Valley is. Which
I think I've mentioned in a couple of episodes ago about how we played Metal Gear Solid and just forgot how it looked because of how enthralled I was with it, how it just took over.
You do, don't you? You just, after even like 10 minutes, you're just like, I don't care anymore.
Yeah, just don't see it.
Yeah.
And that was me anyway. I've still been playing Factorio. I thought I'd just talk about it too.
Actually, you've not, because you've not had a Steam Deck to play on.
I've just been playing on the laptop or the PC, so plenty of options. Don't you worry yourself.
Factory must grow.
He's got a factory everywhere he turns.
By any means necessary.
It's less now, by the way. It is starting to take its curve. I can feel it.
At like 300 hours in.
425.
Well, I'm not surprised.
And it's not. I'm still doing things. I'm still finding things to do on it. It sounds ridiculous, but I've just
incredible, to be fair.
Unlocked the second to last planet to go out to, and I can't make it. I keep getting beaten by the asteroids. You've got to build a platform to.
You need
guns.
A professional star trucker to get.
I need professional help is what I need.
That was a good segue. That.
And it's still going with it.
Nice.
Again, like Jake said, it's pretty impressive.
Good, definitely.
For what it is. Anyway, go on, Joe. Your go.
I did a bit of cleaning up on my games that I've been playing lately that I ended up just putting down for another reason.
Oh, you got back to God of War?
Wait, what? No.
God's sake.
I finished Star Trucker.
Very nice.
Ooh, nice.
I didn't realize how close to the end I was. I literally had one mission left to do.
Well, that's a nice thing to come back to.
Yeah. Before I went on it, I thought, I better go and do some like just standard haulage missions to build up my cash before I go on this, because they never pay you for the story missions. It's all just like circumstance and you taking stuff where it's going. And they might pay like $1,000, but it does nothing for you in the game. You need like tens of thousands of dollars to like upgrade your truck or buy fuel and supplies for your truck and stuff like that. But it actually let me down a little bit at the end.
Really?
It's I can see why they ended the game in the place that they did. But the last mission was you haul a piece of this like warp gate, which has not been accessible all game. You're like, every time you go past it, you're like, oh, I wonder where that goes, because it just says it's blocked off. So the last mission is you go pick up the bit that's to fix it. All the companions that you've met across the whole journey, they all drag a piece of it together as well to build this warp ring. And you go through it. And as soon as you go through it, it's the end credits. I was like, oh, what? It is quite a long haul, to drag it there. And it's like the biggest piece of equipment you've hauled so far. It's like wider than 3 trucks. So navigating past everyone to get it there is an absolute nightmare. When you get there, finally, I've attached it all together. You go through it, it takes you to an empty space station. It's like, we will update the game and this bit will be expanded and what have you. But I don't know for sure if they're going to go back to it or not.
I see. So it's not the end of the game. It's the end of the game at the moment.
Yeah.
They could add more. I was going to say it sounds a bit like they might add to it.
Yeah.
But when
you do get haulage contracts to take stuff there, so I thought, maybe it'll expand quite naturally, but after about 10 or so journeys to it, nothing's changed. So I think it'll be a big like title update thing.
Yeah, hopefully, because it is still in early access, isn't it?
I was going to joke.
No, I think it's fully released now.
Oh, okay. So it might be.
I was going to joke that it's DLC. Buy the DLC as soon as you go.
Well, all the DLC that has been released so far is just like truck skins and parts for each truck to make it look a bit different.
Fair.
But they have been releasing them quite regularly, so I'm thinking maybe they are working on something in the background still. To still be releasing skins and stuff.
Even if it's Space Trucker 2.
Yeah. And it starts off at that station or something like that. That'd be good.
Yeah, that's your first mission. Learn how to drive the truck with this massive piece of equipment on the back.
It's a space station.
Did you play one? You should have.
Yes. This is hard. And speaking of cleaning up, I've been playing a game with Courtney called Plate Up, where you have to do plenty of that between runs to the restaurant.
Nice one.
Have you ever played Overcooked?
Yeah.
I know what it is.
It's like a realistic version of that, but people are still stickmen.
Okay.
So you're running a restaurant or a cafe or like a burger place or just a coffee shop. You pick your location, your floor layout, and what your recipe is that you start with. So we started off at first with either salads or steaks.
Yeah.
And each part of that recipe has a certain number of steps. Like for salad, you chop a cabbage or lettuce, you chop a tomato, combine them, put them on a plate, take them out. Sounds dead easy, right? As soon as you have more than 3 customers, it's impossible because you have no counter space. Each one of those steps takes up a counter. So chopping a lettuce takes up a counter. Then you put a tomato down and you chop it, and you can't put a plate down because you've only got 2 counters at the start. So you have to really plan what's going to happen before people even come in, and you've got about 30 seconds before the first guy comes in.
Yeah.
So you go right, you chop them, I'll chop these, you put it on a plate, and then if he orders one with tomatoes, we can put that on after.
Okay.
So I used to work in a bakery, like making cream cakes and stuff, and that was part of the challenge when I first started. Where do I put everything when I'm making it, and like trying to organize it? And you get it over time, but it takes a while. It says, you're only going to have like 3 groups of customers. If they have 3 groups of 4 people all wanting 2 different types of salad, you're like, no, I can't do it. Because by the time you serve the first one, the other 3 are getting impatient and you can only take 1 dish out at a time. So we tried both halves. Like I was running the kitchen on one of them and then Courtney was running the kitchen on the other. One side is definitely not easier than the other. They're both as hard as one another. Because if you're on the restaurant side, it's like, I just have to take things to people. They make massive messes. You have to mop them up. Because if you don't mop them up, they slow you down. You get stuck in the mud, basically. It's fine if you're walking through them in a straight line, but you can't turn on the spot. It turns into like tank controls from PS1. Sounds hard. Sounds stressful.
It is.
Sounds like a restaurant.
She was playing it on her own at first, and I thought, what's this game? And she's like, it's called Plate Up. It's on Game Pass. Just thought I'd give it a go. I was like, this looks like it'd be easier if it's 2-player. She's like, connect your controller. And it definitely is, because the customer count doesn't go up or down depending on how many people play in the game. And I think it's up to 4-player.
Okay.
Which I think at that point it would get super chaotic because the maps don't get any bigger.
Yeah.
You're just running into each other.
Yeah. And at the end of every day, you can't go through one another either. And there's doors that flap both ways. So if you're both trying to get through a door, you just stop one another. And there's so many times where I've got one person left in the restaurant to serve. It's like, I've got the plate in my hands. Like, no, I'm just bringing this other plate back. And you just crash into one another. At the end of every day, you get to choose like an upgrade. Like there's blueprints appear on the floor, and whatever you've made that day with the cash, you can choose to upgrade something you've already got, like a counter. You could upgrade it into like a, what's it called? Like a prep area where you can put 4 of the same item. Or stuff that can be chopped faster, or you can upgrade your sink to be an auto cleaning sink, or like a heavy rinse sink so you can leave plates in it, because you can only wash one at a time as well. And the thing is, on some of the maps you can't upgrade anything for ages because the dishes don't make much money. Salad doesn't make much money, so it takes you about 3 days before you can upgrade anything. And
3 days of
So yeah,
blood, sweat, and tears.
and you ban us from playing Overcooked because me and Sophia were just getting frustrated with each other. Just go and do it. Moment. So I didn't dare play it up.
It's a roguelike as well, by the way.
It sounds like it with the
So
upgrades.
each day goes past, you get the upgrades you can buy are randomized, but also every 3 days or every 2 days, depending on which recipe you've chosen, you get cards which modify the day.
Okay.
So you can get ones where it's like, you turn your restaurant into like a fancy restaurant. So you've got to like put lamps up and like vases and water features and stuff. And they help out. Like if you've got enough of them, they'll stop making mess, which is the best thing in the world. But you need 6 things and they all cost a lot of money. Or you can make it so you have an extra recipe to make in the day, which is when they come along, that's like the hardest thing.
I can imagine. Yeah.
Even the one where it's just a coffee shop, the extra thing that they give you is like an iced coffee or a latte over just black coffee.
Yeah,
so
like
that gives you like extra pieces of equipment to put in the kitchen, which then crowds the kitchen, which means you can't do anything. Or they give you like cupcake tray, which takes up a table space. And if it's on a table, a customer won't come in. So you have to pick it up to make the customer come in, then go put it over where they're sat, even if it's the same table that you stood at where the cake thing was. But yeah, it does get pretty stressful. But it's really fun when you get through the end of the day. It's like, oh, thank God we made it. We made it.
Sounds like it starts stressful.
It really does depend on which recipe you start with. Okay. Steak is easier because it's just meat on a plate. Yeah. You don't have any like accompaniments with it or anything like that until like day 6 or 7 where they start having tomatoes on it, which you have to chop. Steak and tomatoes sounds a bit weird, but yeah, I'd say give it a go with your partners. It will test you.
Yeah,
have the divorce papers on hand.
I might have to get it downloaded. We'll see.
Yes, do. It's free.
Nice.
But other than that, there was a title update for Monster Hunter, so there was a new monster that came out.
Already, nice.
Returning from a previous game. It's I think you guys might have fought in Rise, actually. It's called Mizutsune. It's like a water fox. You can shoot like a big water beam at you. It's white and purple.
Yeah, I think
possibly, yeah. I think I do.
Yeah. It's so hard in this game.
Yeah.
Now,
I suppose when they add a new monster,
it released 2 monsters, and because loads of people were complaining that the game's too easy, they really dialed up how much damage it can do.
I'll show you.
I was talking about tempered monsters last time.
Yeah.
If you fight a tempered monster of this, you can have all the health buffs, you can have like extra health, extra defense on your armor, and there's just like 2 moves that'll one-shot you.
Wow.
Yeah.
God damn.
So it really just come down to skill at that point rather than just how long you've played the game and stuff you've accrued. And
they're just going to be like, you asked for this.
Yeah.
Asked for this.
Oh, you wanted difficulty? Here you go. One shot. Oh, everyone's dead. Oh. There's so many clips on Reddit where they're just arriving at the scene, all 4 hunters, and the thing does a backflip and the hunt's over. Everyone's dead.
Brilliant.
Nice.
But yeah, that's me.
Cool. Jake?
Well, I suppose speaking of finishing things, I have done the impossible, guys. I didn't think it was possible.
Wait, you finished XCOM 2?
No, I finished that twice, Joe.
Sold it.
Me and Dulcie finished Baldur's Gate 3.
Wow.
Finally.
The first playthrough.
It took more than one night, though, I have to say. But we did it.
How long did it take overall? 100 and some?
Just shy of 180 hours.
Jesus.
Wow.
Yes.
That's nearly half the time that Ben spent on Factorio.
Yeah, in over double the amount of time.
Well, yeah, we started it last Christmas.
Yeah.
Not this Christmas, just gone, the Christmas before. Yeah. And my God, it's been good though. It's been good. The only thing that really disappointed me at the end. So everything's great.
They all died.
High of the massive last boss fight, which is great. Calling in reinforcements of all the friends that you've made along the way and all that. Great epilogue. And then I was like, I'm not getting any trophies. And then I realized I downloaded mods. So
that annoys me so much in games.
So do you know what the mods are as well? It's literally
like
just
haircut.
Hair.
Yeah.
It's just hair. That's it. I sacrificed all my trophies from Act 2 onwards just to get some better hair.
Was it worth it?
No. It was, because Dulce's hair was fly in the game.
The thing is, for most people, that wouldn't bother them, but you, of all people.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
I was like, why?
Oh, no.
I was like, why? Why have I not got anything? So, yeah, I'm going to have to start again.
It usually says, doesn't it? Like, turning on mods would be this.
I thought what you were going to say is that you didn't get any of the trophies, but Dulce was getting them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say that too.
Yeah.
I mean, that did happen earlier on, to be fair. She, was in a conversation and got the trophy through doing that. She'd get it, and not me.
You wouldn't.
So I think she got one for throwing the ball to the dog that you can get in it.
That's a good thing about Split Fiction, is you both get the achievements.
No, definitely.
So is it top 10?
You know, I've written some notes down, and my one note is,
Top 10.
Other than the trophies, fantastic game. I actually think it's up there with Witcher 3.
Ooh.
Close, but not too far behind.
So it's number 2.
So it's number 2.
It's 1.5.
It's always hard to dethrone your top game. Like when I
Yes.
first played God of War 2018, I was like, I can see why this would be better than The Last of Us, but I can't dethrone The Last of Us.
Yeah. It's 2 or 3. I haven't quite decided, but
Okay.
it's good. It's
Very good.
one of these like once in a lifetime games.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not once in a lifetime, once a century
Yeah.
Wow. Well,
I
yeah,
will
that's
definitely play it at some point.
or decade. Am I getting this wrong? 10 years. 10 years.
that's a decade.
Yeah.
To be fair, they probably won't release Baldur's Gate 4, so it might be a once in a century game.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think Larian are going to do Baldur's Gate 4, but Hasbro, I reckon, are sniffing
We'll
about.
force it out of
Hasbro
someone.
will do
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate 4. I wouldn't
Whether it be
recommend
good.
anyone pre-order it.
Yes. There's another story. So I've spoken about Baldur's Gate loads, so I'll move on to the other game I finished. And I slightly hinted about it last time, Animal Well.
Very nice.
I managed to finish
yes.
it before I got taken off PS Plus.
You did.
Just a really, truly unique puzzler.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, really eerie atmosphere.
It's creepy, isn't it?
It's creepy. Oh god, it gets creepy, especially that end.
The end, yeah. The
Oh my
end's
God.
almost like the cat thing, but like worse.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And the music,
Yeah.
it gets like proper. It's horrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's horrible.
All of us just thought weird.
Yeah, yeah.
We're in context. It's
It is.
horrible.
I didn't love everything about it. Some of the platforming was a bit too tight, and I like
It's quite
platformers.
precise, yeah.
But
There's a bit like
overall-
Celeste in that kind of really tight
sometimes
platforming.
I don't think it's mostly about the puzzles and the platforming. But it can get a bit. I think if you were trying to do all the extra stuff, I think a lot of that's behind some tight platforming.
Yeah.
So, did you do any of the extra stuff? So, just for anyone listening, the main gist of the game is obviously a platformer set in a well. I think we discussed it last time, and you're unlocking tools like a Metroidvania. You're unlocking tools that become like your puzzle solutions.
Very unique tools. Never
Very
seen
unique
these tools in anything else. A slinky.
Yeah.
And that was my favourite one.
I have seen there's a frisbee as well.
The frisbee's cool.
So
yeah.
each of these tools, there's usually a very obvious use for them for a solution, but most of them also have like secondary uses, which you might figure out. The game tells you literally nothing.
Yeah.
So you have to figure all of it out yourself. But there's a set of like 5 or 6 tools that you kind of need to finish the game.
Yes, I
Something
think it's
like that.
5.
Is it 5? But
Yeah.
then there is actually more like 10 or 15 tools total
Yes.
that you don't need to get. Some you can't get till you finish the game. Some you can get. Did you get any of those extra ones?
I didn't, but I had a look online to see some like what is it, a spinning top, I think, and then there's a switch you can get.
Yeah, the Switch is like overpowered.
Yeah, definitely.
Nintendo
I can
Switch.
see it. No, it's like there's a lot of switches in the game that like swap.
Say, platforms, turn them on and off.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And you'll have to physically go up to a button and click it
Yeah.
or do some sort of puzzle to change the platform. But the Switch is a TV remote, I think.
Yeah.
When you press it just does it for you.
So I'm assuming that's after the game's finished.
Yeah, I got that one. And there's other ones. There's one that lets you just walk on spikes.
Oh, cool.
Well, roll on spikes. But
Yeah.
there's loads of extra ones you can get afterwards, which say it's all extra puzzles. But then there's also the weird puzzles that I don't even know how you solve.
Yeah.
There's many layers to the game, I believe.
No, well, yeah, definitely. You can see it kind of when you're doing the main stuff, but really unique puzzles as well. I mean, the cat thing, if anybody's seen it, I've not seen that really in anything else.
Yeah.
And then the tools that you get, I've already hinted at a lot of them. Never seen any of those before. Just really cool. I can't believe it's made by one guy, handcrafted by one guy.
Yeah.
And
really
it
was what they called Big Mode's first published game.
Big Mode.
Yeah.
Only making good games.
I mean, we were talking about the 8-bit style before and it putting people off. I can imagine this might have put a lot of people off.
Lucy hated when I was playing this.
Yeah.
She was like, that looks so bad.
Yeah, I think Dulcie said the same.
You just don't understand.
Until like near
Look at him jump.
I showed her the end and she was like, that is one of the creepiest things I've ever seen. It's like, yeah, it's horrible.
It's like the flower from Undertale.
It's good. Games like that make me now want to play that Blueprints that's just come out, because that's supposed to be the next one of those type of games.
Yeah.
Metroid
Big Mode as well.
Metroid Brainias, I've heard them be called.
Yeah, I've heard that.
But no, it's not. It's not by Big Mode, but it's another super brainy puzzler.
There's someone at work who won't stop saying, you need to try this. It's so good. You need to get on it. You need to figure some stuff out in this mansion. It's so good.
It's supposed to be really good because
I've heard
it's like Outer Wilds, and it's like Animal Well, where they make you feel smart when you come up with a solution.
Tunic. Don't bring up that.
We're just going to beep that out.
Fantastic game. Anyway, so Animal Well is really good. Thank you, Brad, for forcing me to play it. Because it was kind of my jam, other than the creepiness. But cool. That was me, basically. I've started Cyberpunk as well, but we'll maybe go into that next time. For a second playthrough.
It's been the longest what I've been playing section since the last time I said that.
Yeah, wow.
Since the last time.
One day we'll hit the full hour.
Well,
cool. So move on to the news.
We can do, but Badoo, it's the news.
Getting straight into it.
Let's do it. Right, okay. No messing. PS5 price increase.
Yes.
We don't know what to. Just whack.
Yeah.
So continue.
So it came out, I think, last week or a couple of weeks ago. Sony have basically announced that the PS5 prices are going up. Not the PS5 Pro, but the main console.
Only the digital. So it's a weird one. Depending on your region. Now, we're just going to focus on the UK because we're from the UK. Yeah. The only one that has gone up is the PS5 Digital Edition, and it's gone up to $429. In some,
why?
Who knows? They've just said ongoing, like, world financial market.
We know what that means.
Yeah,
tariffs.
We want more money.
However, this is where it gets really weird. So the price increases in Europe, UK, Australia, and New Zealand, not America.
Yeah.
So
at all in America, apparently. Weird.
It's pretty clear that the tariffs are what is causing the price increase, based on them not explicitly saying it, but how they've worded it. So why hasn't it gone up in America? Now, I've got two theories.
The rest of the world's paying for it.
Well, that's theory 2. I'll get to that. Theory 1 is America's price increase is coming, but they don't know what to yet because they don't know what tariffs look like just yet. Because
maybe.
They can't make their mind up. Theory 2 is, the rest of the world's paying for it because they don't want to increase the Americans' price because they're the largest market.
I can imagine
they're going to get smacked the
Is there a larger market than Japan?
I think so. I think Nintendo's
for Sony
bigger
now.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I think they've got a lot of PlayStations there as well.
Yeah.
Like already made.
Already there.
In America.
Yeah. So the price it might go up eventually.
Eventually, yeah. So we will see.
But it's interesting more so to me because this is the only generation the base price of consoles have gone
twice.
Up. And this is the second time.
Yeah.
It's just a weird place we live right now, isn't it?
It is.
Do you reckon it's to cover the cost of not as many people buying the Pro as they thought?
No, because I think they said that they sold about as many as anticipated, really.
Oh.
With the Pro. I mean,
it wasn't
one guy.
To me, this makes me think when the PS6 comes out, I need to get in straight away.
I know.
So maybe it's sort of psychology. They're like, we want everyone to buy the PS6. So if we keep putting the prices up, people are going to think they have to get the PS6 straight away. So
because normally when a Pro comes out, the one before it lowers by like £100.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
It just hasn't. It has only gone up. And also the pound doesn't go as far these days.
Yeah.
So the price has gone up, but so has inflation.
It's just the digital version.
Yeah.
Almost like they were like, you're getting too good of a deal with the digital version for some reason.
Yeah, it probably just didn't sell as well, so they wanted to recoup.
Now you're trapped into buying my games online.
Yeah. Or maybe it's
Here's a thing. Have they stopped making the CD drive for it?
No.
No, that's still, you can still buy it separately. I mean, you have to for the Pro.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, strange. Very strange. So
Next.
there's been a lot of, going back to Nintendo, there's been a lot of Nintendo news. So first off, Doug Bowser basically came out and said, can't afford a Switch 2? Just get a Switch 1.
Yeah.
Which harkens back to what? Xbox One?
Don Matrick. Xbox One, yeah. But what was that? If you don't have an internet connection, we've got a system for you, 360. Yeah.
That quote literally got me to swap back to PlayStation.
It's probably not
at
far
the time.
off, yeah.
At the time, I remember thinking, well, screw you. Then
Yeah.
I'll go back to PlayStation.
That guy, and I'm glad I did.
Yeah, same.
But Doug Bowser, I mean, this is the first evil act Bowser has done. But
Apart from kidnapping
we could all see it coming.
I was just about to say the same thing.
Was it really kidnapping? They play golf on the weekends.
He didn't quite say that, but the sum of its parts basically came to, that everybody can, if you can't afford the Switch 2, we do have a system that you can buy the original Switch.
Yeah, he didn't say it quite as, he didn't say it like Don Matrick said it.
No, he didn't. No.
He just sort of said, we're happy that we have a portfolio of systems that allows people who can't afford a Switch 2 to still get into our ecosystem.
Yeah.
That's the Switch 1. So
which is a nicer way of putting it.
Yeah, but he still said that.
He still said it. And at the end of the day, there's a lot of features on Switch 2 you don't get on Switch 1. And you can't play
everything.
New Mario Kart, Donkey Kong.
No GameCube.
Yeah.
No.
On it.
But was he also saying that in that, like, between the lines, that there will be quite a bit of support of newer games coming out still will be on Switch 1?
Maybe.
I mean, the only thing I know...
Just trying to put a positive spin on it there.
Yeah. I mean, they're already bringing out exclusives on Switch 2, so I don't know how far that's going to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Switch 1 is severely more outdated than the PS4 and Xbox One.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't... I think maybe a year or two, and then
it should stop.
It should probably stop, yeah.
How much more round can Mario's nose get?
God knows.
Polygons, man.
Well, speaking of Mario and his karts, there was a Mario Kart Direct.
Yes.
Showing off more Mario Kart after the Switch 2 Direct.
You are joking, right? A Mario Kart Direct.
I know.
Showing off more Mario Kart.
I say more, but I don't know what they actually showed that I haven't already seen.
Yeah.
So a lot of people like bigging this up as like they're going to explain the price, why this game is $80, £75. You'll get to see in this Direct why it costs that much money. No.
Do you know what they did explain though? Why the camera on the Piranha Planet is so bad?
Well, that wasn't in it. That wasn't in the Direct.
No, it was because it can detect up to 4 people. That's the only reason.
Okay.
And then it puts their faces above the carts, like locally.
Okay. So the context of that is the Piranha Plant peripheral camera is like 420p.
Yes.
It's really terrible. Okay, wait.
I'm trying to think of what new things it showed.
So they showed a bit the open world and what you do in the open world, which is you can sort of drive around and
there's
find
a few like
secrets.
mini games and secrets, and
you can get.
It expanded on the elimination mode.
Yeah, it did a bit. It showed the costumes in the open world, as Brad said.
What they've not explained to me, or maybe they have and I've not seen it, but is there a typical lap-based mode?
Yeah, that's the main Grand Prix.
Well, I've been hearing mixed things actually, because I've still been hearing that some
people have said no.
The elimination kind of moves you on to the next race, and I don't know how that would work if you also had a lapped version of the track.
Yeah, I've heard the tracks just aren't set up for laps anymore. It's like a one.
Unless there's 2 versions of each track,
maybe
that we don't know about.
Like in standard multiplayer, it has a closed loop track.
I think it'd be weird to not do laps because you kind of like learn the track.
No, there are multiple tracks in Mario Kart 8 already that don't do laps.
Really? I didn't know
Rainbow
that.
Road doesn't do laps. Like the classic one with the train on it. That's in 3 stages. It doesn't do
okay.
laps. There's one,
Fair,
the one with the
yeah.
space station does laps.
Yes, I was going to say that's the one I remember.
The Wario Mountain doesn't have laps because you go from the top of the mountain to the bottom.
Yeah.
Big Blue doesn't either.
So maybe it just doesn't have laps in this one.
But if they're all going to be like that, I don't think they will. But because they still have like Toad Circuit and stuff.
But this was the thing. I feel like this was their opportunity to explain everything. Keep secrets, but that doesn't feel like a secret to keep.
Yeah, that feels like something they should have explained.
Yeah. So
now, what I will say is, they showed some new items. So I think there's you can get the massive mushroom now.
Oh, that looks
the giant
fun.
mushroom. So that looks fun. I think there's the tail one where you can jump up and dodge items.
Yeah, almost like the sound box from Mario Kart 8.
Yeah, so you can dodge the blue shell now. There's a gold shell that does coins
that other people can steal.
Yeah, this isn't an item, but you can rewind now. Now it doesn't rewind other people.
This was dumbass.
Yeah, because it doesn't rewind other people.
So
it's just you.
It's so
I just don't understand why you would do that.
I think it's because if you say crash or something and you then need to like reverse, it might be easier to or you're about to go off.
Yeah, but that's respawn, isn't it? Generally.
Yeah, kind of. But let's say
but Lakitu takes coins off you. Maybe this doesn't.
Maybe.
Yeah,
but also if you're about to spin off or you're about to
does that not save time though? Like, does that not save time for your acts? Like, what if you got hit by a red shell and you just click rewind for like 2 seconds? Yeah, you're still losing a bit of time, but you're not losing nearly as much time.
They must have balanced it so that you lose more time.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
But
maybe you start from, you won't be accelerating, so it'll take time to accelerate.
Maybe.
I think they didn't do it the other way because Forza might have a copyright on that system.
Or the rewind.
The rewind system that rewinds the entire race for everybody.
I don't think they'll have a copyright on it.
I think it was
more it's a gameplay system. They could do.
But most people don't usually.
Yeah. I mean, there's rewinds and other stuff, but I think it's more like it's a family game. It's meant to be played with multiple people. So if you had the rewind feature,
yes,
it would just get.
They saw what happened to Power World. They're not just going to roll them dice. That's what it is.
Yeah. The other thing is why if you're playing on your own offline, does it not rewind it for everyone else?
I don't know, but I think it's more built for you to be playing it with other people rather than playing it by yourself. That makes sense.
Because when they explained where it goes, but watch out, you rewind and doesn't rewind anything else. I was like, well, no one's going to use this.
Yeah.
It's going to make me worse.
I can only think you could use it if you were practicing laps.
Yeah, in Time Attack or something like that.
Laps? I don't know.
What
what
are they?
Oh, God. Well, you would still do time trials, wouldn't you?
So they have a closed circuit, surely, the time trials.
You would think so.
Time. Not necessarily.
I mean, it did definitely look like some of the maps. I mean, they showed a time trial and somebody went through a
lap
counter thing, I'm sure.
Maybe then.
So
it'd be interesting.
Yeah, they should really have shown that.
Yeah. They also did show more difference between the Grand Prix mode and the elimination mode. Is stuff happens on the tracks in elimination mode that doesn't happen in the Grand Prix. There's one for the Mario Kart circuit. There's like cars that shoot bullet bills at you. It's like Hammer Bros on the edges of the track. So they're trying to actively make you get into last place, not just the other cars.
Yeah, I'm wondering too if like the bits in between the races or the tracks are part of the race as well.
No, they did say that if you come last, get into the next race, you won't get into it.
Yeah. So like you'll finish like Toad Circuit, let's say, and then you go into the open world still racing to get to the next track.
So.
It must be that.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks good. It looks like Mario Kart. You still haven't warranted the price to me there.
No. This
looks like an evolution.
As I've said in the WhatsApp group, this is Burnout Paradise, but Mario.
Yeah.
Rather than Forza Horizon, but Mario.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with that.
Yeah. Well, I guess
next.
Cars.
Next, we're moving on. We've got a few games. So Marathon has been doing the rounds. It was a marathon. There's been a lot of showcases for different games. So Marathon was the next up. I don't know how I feel, guys.
I don't know how it feels.
Have you not?
When was this shown?
It was shown
about a week ago.
Called the second.
Oh, okay.
When this comes out, probably about 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I really missed that.
I don't think it will be Concord the second.
But it's not going to be Halo the next.
No, I understand why people are thinking that. It's It didn't look. It looked fine.
So, for people who don't know, it's an FPS. It's a
it's a new FPS by Bungie.
Extraction shooter.
It's an extraction shooter. Yeah.
Oh, for God's sake.
3 players per team.
Well, you know what really interests me?
Joe's seen it already.
Yeah.
I and a lot of other people have the exact same response as you do there, Joe, to an extraction shooter. But it's not like it's an oversaturated market.
Yeah, I get that.
Because how many extraction shooters are there on console?
There are no standard shooters other than Call of Duty now.
No, I know. And
Why can't we not have a story-based shooter?
No, I get you. I don't mind Bungie trying something different, like with an extraction shooter. Like they broke the mold with the MMO, with Destiny.
Yeah.
So I feel like they could do something good with this. However, based on what they've shown so far, I don't know what the special Bungie sauce is.
Yeah,
it just looks like an extraction shooter.
There's nothing new. I mean, other than the art style.
Yeah, the art style.
That's something new, I suppose.
And it looks really cool.
Gunplay looks good because it's Bungie.
Yeah. The art style's like it or hate it, it seems. Love it or hate it.
What is it? What's it like?
They've called it something like, I can't remember, like neon realism or something like that. They coined it a term, and it's vibrant colours. It's kind of like Mirror's Edge.
Oh, okay, like a neon white, that kind of thing.
That sort of,
a bit more bright colours.
Yeah, bright colours, plastic. Everything looks like it's made out of plastic.
Yeah,
but it's realistic. But it looks really good. I think it looks better in the trailers than it does in gameplay. But it looks really nice. But you say the gameplay, it'd be second to none because it's Bungie.
Yeah.
But Concord was made by ex-Bungie people, and that played a bit like how Destiny felt. So it's hard.
I think it's not bringing anything new, which is weird because you would think, you're entering this market, you want it to be new.
Yes.
And then the big thing that's putting a lot of people off, including myself, is one, it's going to cost you money.
Yeah, they've not said how much, but they said not full price. So it's probably
people are thinking like
only 65.
Yeah.
People think like £40, £30, something like that.
Is it online only?
Yeah, because it's an extraction shooter.
Oh. And then at the same time, they said there's going to be a story, but they're going to write it together with the community because they've only just started doing it.
Yeah, it sounds like they're going to do like what they did with the first Destiny, like with the Grimoire cards, where it's all going to be in-universe stuff you have to figure out yourself.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be like cutscenes.
I hated that.
There's a really cool cutscene at the end of the live stream. It's like a 10-15 minute trailer almost. That was like a Love, Death and Robots episode. It's really cool. I recommend watching it. If they had some of that in there, it would be good. But they don't. So the thing is, it's months away. It's not coming out till September.
They gave us a release date in September, which is soon.
It's a bit away, yeah. There's time. There's an alpha going on now, so there's going to be a lot of feedback from that. And hopefully, they seem very receptive to the feedback. So hopefully, they'll take some of that on board. Most people have come out of it saying it's good, but it's not like there's no.
It's not the next big thing.
Yeah.
No.
And I'm trying to think like what would be the next big thing. I came up with this idea, which I think is a good idea. Like, so imagine Marathon.
Yeah.
Have a lawyer on standby right now.
Imagine Marathon as it is, except the purpose of going in and doing extractions is to get better equipment to do raids, PvE raids. So it's kind of like how like the Division Dark Zone was. You go into the Dark Zone and maybe it can be a persistent world. That's a high concentration of real people, AIs, all the best loots in there, risk reward going in, but the purpose of it isn't to just keep running that. It's to then do the offline story missions that are mega hard raid like things with story beats in them, and you're doing them with mates.
Would it not have been better?
I think that would have been better
to just do an extraction shooter maybe with a story, like so you kind of doing missions in the extraction like format.
The reason you're going and getting stuff is the story.
Then but then you would be getting interrupted by other players, I suppose. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But it needed something different. And I get that what Ben's saying, Concord 2.0, because, you're charging for it. I think that was one of the big things for Concord.
I think Bungie's a big enough name for it to not be Concord 2. But I think if this wasn't Bungie, it would be Concord 2. Because it's Bungie, I don't think it will be. I don't think it'll be as big as they want it to be.
No.
But I don't think it will flop as hard.
Go on,
No. It sounds bad when I say it. I'm going back to character design. They look similar. They look out there and not quite what people want.
See, I disagree with that. I think the characters don't have as much character, maybe as they could.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
But they do look distinct. The characters in I was going to say Guardians in Concord didn't look distinct. They look like everything else, whereas at least Marathon's unique, if that makes sense.
I've just seen a picture of it now. They look like the security teams from Cyberpunk with a VR headset on.
Well, one of the characters does, yeah. But then you've not shown off the cosmetics. They have said you're going to get cosmetics. So that's hopefully going to be more like Destiny's level of cosmetic customization.
I don't feel like in this like climate at the minute, people are complaining about obviously prices for nearly everything. Rightly so. You charge for this when it feels half baked.
I don't think they should have positioned it as like a hero shooter.
No,
like they shouldn't have had heroes. He should have just had like character kits, and that's kind of it. And I'm hoping
the Division had.
Yeah. And I'm hoping that's what it kind of becomes when you start customizing the characters. But I don't know.
We will see.
Next.
Yeah.
Ben's pushing us along real good. Right, okay. Oblivion Remake is real, guys.
Now,
it's out now.
And it's out right now.
Believe it or not, we've actually recorded this episode way later than we normally would. So now we're actually on time with
our news is timely.
Yeah.
Yes.
It'll be a few days late, but it's mostly timely.
So the showcase. So yeah, it looks great. It basically, I mean, they said in their showcase, they kept saying it's Oblivion but better. Now I know it's probably not the best thing to say about people's beloved games.
But even the diehard Oblivion fans had some gripes.
Yeah, but it does look really good. Like they've touched up.
Bethesda game at the end of the day. You're going to fall through stuff, and you're still going to get stuck in a tree.
Well, I think it's still got. Sounds like it's still got that. What is it? Creation.
The creation engine's still running in the background, and they've just overlaid it with the Unreal Engine graphics. But the thing is, it's a remaster, which I think is the wrong term.
I think it's a remake.
This is a remake. Literally done
remade, doesn't it? Yeah.
But then for them to keep saying it's better in every way, we've fixed the graphics, the gameplay, the physics,
they kept saying it's the same game, and then they go, and we've changed this.
Yeah, and they literally said they've changed everything. Now that's where I'm a bit like, some of this is subjective, because straight away it's not as colourful as Oblivion, and I'm seeing a lot of people complaining that they've dulled it down too much.
Yeah,
just turn up your saturation in the settings.
To max.
Yeah,
I probably won't play it because I don't feel I need to.
I never played it originally.
Well, it'll be great for someone.
It's a good 123
I think this is the
well.
perfect number of years away from the original to have a really good remake.
I agree. I just have too many new games to play.
I think I'd have played.
I definitely get it.
Yeah, I'd have played it if I wasn't already playing a lot of other big games. I actually tried to download it and realised I just wouldn't have had enough memory to download it.
It's 123 gigs.
I know.
How did you find some of the improvements from the trailer? Because like one of the big things he said was the lip syncing. Yeah.
So I actually think everything in the trailer was looking amazing. Like I actually think everything does look better. I mean, it had a janky leveling system back in the day. If you played it now, you would not enjoy it. I don't think, unless you played it, you were a diehard
nostalgia,
fan. And, it's a funny game because of the voice acting and stuff. And they've kept all that, which is great.
They've kept the woman who wants to repeat her lines.
Yes. Which is hilarious. Yeah. But then they showed the lip syncing, and the Argonians look amazing.
I thought all the races look amazing. And then they just showed a random human speaking, and I felt like I'd just taken some acid. They had pursed lips, didn't they?
Yeah.
And they were just talking really weird. They made this new rig so that any of the species would share the same rig, and the voice lip syncing would match.
So
you've got a Khajiit face with a human skin.
But
speaking.
They all looked great other than humans.
Humans look because I think the Argonians and is it Khajiit?
Yeah, the cat people.
They have jaws move properly.
Yeah, they have big long mouths because they've got
big jaws.
Big jaws and that animal shape. whereas a human doesn't have that. But it looks like it still moves the same.
It was so awkward because he was spending so long on the lip syncing, and I was like, "This actually looks bad."
They actually showed the adoring fan, and I was that made me scared.
Yeah, to put this much emphasis on this game and saying how much better the lip syncing is, and it's like worse than most games I've seen. It was a bit awkward. But it's better than Oblivion.
It is, to be fair. It's better than
part
OG.
of the Bethesda charm.
Yeah.
And I will say that everything else looks incredible. Like, I do want to play it for that.
You know, I don't know how much influence or input Bethesda had, because this has been made by... I can't remember the call. That's going to annoy me now.
Yeah.
It's being made by another team anyway.
Yes,
it
is.
Bethesda partner.
I think they've worked with them a bit.
Yeah.
It looked like it looked like some people at Bethesda worked on it too.
Yeah, but it felt like this trailer was very much making out like Bethesda did all the work.
Oh no.
Because then at one point they were like, we at Bethesda, and then the other team pop up. And they're like, and us.
Yeah.
It just kind of felt like Bethesda were like, this is ours. Thank you. Even though the other team, I think, did most of the work.
Yeah, no, definitely.
It has definitely made me excited, because that's got to be Fallout 3 next, or New Vegas, because
that's what the rumors suggest. Yeah,
it scares me that they're going to do New Vegas, because season 2 of Fallout will be coming soon. So ideally, I think they'd probably do that to launch it at the same time.
But New Vegas is the better game, so that probably
no, it's absolutely not.
I think they'll do 3 next, and I think they'll try and time it. I think they could time it with season 2.
And I might play that, because I didn't play a lot of 3 because the gameplay was god awful, so I never got very far.
That's
another example.
I think they might go on to. That's why I think they might go on to New Vegas, because season 2, spoilers, is in New Vegas, isn't it? So that could be why they do that, and I hope they don't, because I want to play 3 without triangles in the sky and random flying and falling through things and. The Bethesda charm. Next.
No, wait, before we go on. There's an extra point to this thing for all the Sky Oblivion devs who are working on that mashup of the 2 regions. They all got a free copy of it.
They did. I heard about that. Which is really nice of them.
But it's on Game Pass.
Yeah, but all Xboxes.
Game Pass.
It's only on Xbox.
Game Pass isn't free, guys.
No.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Keep forgetting. I view it like a gas bill.
And that's a free copy to own.
I'm glad they've at least acknowledged them, because I do feel bad for them.
They have come out and made a statement too. I don't know it off by heart, obviously, but it's they're basically just saying that like we're still carrying on. They think it's great that Bethesda and the other team have done this. And they hope people can enjoy both for what they are, because they're both different experiences. It doesn't sound like you can really mod the remake.
Really?
No.
So, or at least there's no modding options now. But with Sky Oblivion,
hopefully they'll. Hopefully
and it took ages to get mods into actual Skyrim anyway on console.
Yeah, and it sounds like the Sky Oblivion have gone like above and beyond with some of the stuff they've done, like made dungeons way more immersive and bigger and put more stuff in. Whereas I think this remake will just be a almost 1-for-1 remake, other than the graphics.
Virtuos is the other team that made it.
Okay,
you can get DLC Horse Armor as well.
Oh yeah, DLC Horse Armor, £10.
£10
Horse Armor. I did see that, to be fair.
Inflation.
Next.
They've got some balls.
Shut up.
No, I just want to say they've got some balls to put our horse armor.
Yeah, they did that on purpose. There's other stuff
for the meme
as well. Yeah.
Right. Anyway, so more showcases from more games. Big fan of this one. Star Wars Zero Company basically looks like XCOM Star Wars. Yeah! I'm here for it.
It just looked pretty good.
I think it's Firaxis devs too.
Yeah, it's
gone over
XCOM devs.
Yeah, basically, and people are calling it ZCOM. Yeah, the Zero Company.
It looks. I probably won't play it because it's just not my type of game.
Because you don't have any taste.
Is it set?
It might be bad yet,
or is it set like in the prequels?
It's set in the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
There ever was a reason to pre-order.
No, this is exactly.
Get out.
This is exactly what I wanted. I wanted Clone Wars XCOM.
I want Rebels, man.
Nah.
Rebels Star Wars is the iconic
Clone Wars.
Star Wars.
Go all about the Clone Wars. All about the Clone Wars. Get the clones.
This feels like this might go on.
Do it, Ben.
I do think
Next.
nice. So some of the stuff they've said. Oh, it looked like it was more like heroes that you were playing as. Like there's a Mandalorian, there's a Jedi, and there's there's a clone trooper and a sniper or something.
I want to say you can.
Who's a Mandalorian?
Just a Mandalorian.
Say that.
But they have come out and said that it is customizable.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much so, because a Jedi is
in like XCOM. Do you have
a
like
Jedi, yeah.
big main units and then little units?
So you basically start as like a noob,
Yeah.
a novice, and then once you level them up once, they go into a
specialism sort of thing.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just like that.
Possibly, but like obviously the Jedi is very distinct. He looks a certain way.
But
that's what's in the trailers. So I don't know.
Just grow a hood.
We will see. It comes out next year, doesn't it?
Yes.
So we'll see more soon. Sure.
It's Respawn as well, isn't it?
Respawn are involved.
Yeah,
but they're not the main devs, but they are involved.
So very cool. And then we'll move on now, Ben.
Next.
The last new game trailer we got. This was more of a trailer, whereas the rest were like showcases and stuff, weren't they? Day of recording, Ghost of Yotei.
A shadow drop trailer.
Got a shadow drop trailer.
Release date.
Which, October 2nd. So it looks incredible to me anyway, personally.
The story looks really cool.
Yeah, definitely. It sounds like you're hunting down these 6 like
assassins
or something. Yeah. It does look really cool. Just weird that the shadow dropped this trailer when there was a state of play how long ago? Month and a half ago? And then
that you weren't too pleased with?
Yeah, that everybody was like, where's Ghost of Yotei?
And it sounds like there's going to be another one soon as well.
Yeah, well, it sounds like there'll be one with Summer Games Fest, because they usually do.
Weird.
Which is like a month away.
Yeah. But
that's coming out.
I'm not complaining because it looks good.
It does. It does. Definitely. I'd rather hear about it now, I suppose, than later.
There were some snippets of gameplay in there, I think, as well.
There was.
So.
Yeah. It looks very like Tsushima.
Yeah.
Is it a lot of spear-based fighting in this?
I think you can dual wield katanas. I think there's also just your katana, and then I think there's also some kind of spear. I don't think it's quite a spear though.
There's like a flaily looking thing. Not a flail. You know the blades when you've got like a chain between them and you can like.
Yes, there's them as well.
Yeah. Where they like kick them.
So it looks like, because like Jin in Ghost of Tsushima just used the katana, obviously, but he had 4 different stances. So I'm wondering if the stances will change to different weapons.
Maybe.
Instead. And they'll be like good again. It was kind of like a rock, paper, scissors sort of thing.
Very like Dante and Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wonder if the spear is better against
I almost hope not
certain enemies.
Because that feels a bit like it's been done before. I almost feel like I hope they keep it more similar to how Ghost was, and maybe each weapon has its own set of 4 stances, and you specialize in a weapon.
Yeah.
Or maybe one of them is good for 2 different stances, and another one's good for. You know what I mean?
I always found that you could use the other stances against enemies.
Yeah, they were just weak.
Yeah. You could get around it by unlocking different abilities for this different stances.
I just feel like I've seen games before where that enemy is here, I have to change to this weapon, and then you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Whereas Ghost was.
You mean like planning your approach? How dare they?
Well, I mean, like Ghost was different because you could change it's using the same weapon, but you're changing your stance, and that felt unique.
Online mode was interesting because you only ever. I mean, sometimes you could get 2 stances depending on the equipment you picked, but you never had all 4.
Oh, okay.
So if you went up against a shield guy and you didn't have that stance to fight it,
you had to hope someone else did.
No, you just kind of adapted and used the other. You just used the stances. A bit more differently. Yeah, you just thought about it a bit more and was like, all right, if I go about it this way, I can't use this move because they'll block it.
Yeah,
but I can still use these.
Yeah, cool trailer.
Definitely. And that's it for all the trailer. The trailer Rama. Yeah,
we love a trailer Rama.
So we listed some games. Should we move on to the next list, Ben?
Ben, sing the thing.
Games coming up. I even did a head nod. There you go.
That must be the cleanest take you've ever done of that.
I know.
Yeah.
That's going to be the
normally someone's saying something over it. I'm going to use that one now.
So hit us. What's coming on in May?
So in May we got some fun stuff. Elden Ring Night Rain.
Oh yeah.
Already?
Yeah, that kind of just came out of nowhere, didn't it? I'm excited to see what.
It seems like yesterday you were on the beta.
Yeah. I kind of forgot it was coming out. Not gonna lie.
We all know what it is. I won't tell you much about it. 30th of May, PS5, XS, 4, 1, PC.
How about last gen?
I'm excited to see what the sort of like thoughts are when it comes out. Yeah, because I want to see what the content's like. Because the beta obviously only had a small selection. So.
Yeah, same. I mean, I'm more interested to see the reception than playing it.
Yeah.
I might play it. I don't know. I haven't decided.
We'll see. But that's 40 quid.
Yeah.
So where's the backlash to that?
It's Elden Ring for everybody. Mario Kart.
Sounds like it's fully made with a story.
For everybody that can't see, Brad is doing some sort of head gesture. Yeah, whatever.
Next.
Can't use my own weapons against me.
The Midnight Walk.
Oh yeah,
is that this month as well?
Yeah. Looks
Stop
interesting.
Motion little guy.
Good follow on to South of Midnight.
Yeah.
It looks really trippy. It's all been made with models, hasn't it, and scanned in.
Yes,
is the thing.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So it's all like claymation. It's first person and also VR, isn't it?
VR,
yeah. So you don't have to play it VR, but it is VR too. Yeah,
looks creepy.
It's mainly suggested for it. It's more like a walkie simulator, isn't it? There's no fighting as such. It's but it's not focused. It's
I think you get a gun.
The trailers make it look like it's more focused.
Guns don't kill people.
Lanterns do.
Lanterns.
It looks like you can get weapons, but it's not a shooter.
More like a puzzler.
Yeah.
8th of May, PSVR, PC, VR, and I assume it's coming out on PS5, but I mainly got the VR focuses. So, delivery at all costs. This is one that looks ace.
This does look fun.
Oh, I didn't know if any of you had seen it. So, 50s based delivery simulator.
Is this the one where you're in a truck and you can just basically destroy everything?
Pickup truck, you drive through buildings, you destroy all sorts. 1 minute you're defusing a bomb with your bumper, the next minute you're driving off a cliff. It's just ridiculous at best.
It's top down, isn't it?
Or top down.
Yes.
Crazy taxi for packages.
Absolutely. It looks ace. I just think it looks fun. I imagine it's not going to be a serious one. Sorry, Brad. 22nd of May, PS5, XS, and PC. The Precinct. Ooh.
This is the GTA where you play the cop, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah. Top downy again, sort of asymmetric look.
Like old GTA.
Play as a rookie cop. The story is he's trying to prove his father's murderer or something along these lines. Just looks really cool.
Police brutality again.
Yeah, looks really cool. Looks a bit different.
Yeah, cool.
13th of May, PS5, X and S. Nice. You know what I didn't do today? I didn't rustle my papers enough because I'm not using my notepad.
Oh,
because I wrote them at
to a
dinner.
sheet of A4.
Yeah, I wrote them at dinner time at work, so there was no planning.
That's more planning than you've ever done before, Ben. Give yourself some credit.
Blade of Fire.
I've seen this one. This is one where he plays like a armorer guy, isn't it? Like a blacksmith.
Yeah, now I hadn't seen much about it until I saw this one trailer, and I thought, looks God of War-esque, actually, more than anything. That's all I've written down for it.
It's like a third-person hack and slash game. I think they've said maybe with Souls-like elements, who knows, but you play as a blacksmith and you like forge your weapons.
That sounds cool. I don't think I've seen it.
It does look really cool.
Yeah.
Nice one.
Google it.
It's quite a small team, I think.
22nd of May, PS5, XS, and PC.
Blades of Fire, it's called.
Nice.
Lost Soul Aside.
Yes.
And that's coming out this month. Jesus.
Yeah.
Action RPG. Looks Final Fantasy-esque.
I really don't know that. I've seen it. I've seen trailers for it a few times. I just don't know what it is other than it looks Final Fantasy. Yeah,
that's all I've seen as well.
Yeah.
Well, really good at my job.
It looks more character action-y.
Yes. Yeah, it's not turn-based.
Yeah.
Finally, a Final Fantasy I can get behind.
Final Fantasy 16
If it doesn't play on Ninja Gaiden, I'm not interested.
does a bit.
30th of May, PS5, PC. I'm saving that one till last. I'm turning my page. Apologies. Japanese Drift Master. I had to mention it because why wouldn't you want a drifting game?
Japanese drifting game.
It's apparently only just been translated to English to release on PC.
I think I have actually heard about it.
It's been out a long time.
But I've heard people do like it. Like it is.
It's got a cult
mountain
following.
Racing, like in Tokyo Drift.
I'm not overly sure. The things I've seen,
drifting.
all I've seen is street drifting. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's getting a PC release, and that is the 21st of May.
Nice.
Looks fun. I like a drifting game because I don't feel bad when I crash then because I was being a fool.
Can you play as DK?
I'd hope so.
Drift King. That's a Tokyo Drift joke.
Nobody watched it, Brad.
Glad you explained that one. One for me, Roadcraft. I can't wait. I am going
building
to be
logistics routes?
You are crafting roads. It's made by the.
Shall we all do it
that,
together? Next.
It's made by the people that made SnowRunner,
cool.
which is another one of the games I absolutely loved.
Next.
Cool.
And yeah, apparently you build roads out to things and you're driving the trucks to do it. So it just looks really good fun. I am actually excited for it. Hopefully it won't go the same way as Expeditions, but 26th of May. I put 26th of Max, so just thought I'd translate that to myself.
Yes, the 13th month.
PS5, X and S. Oh, XS and PC. Another one for me, because I'm focused here. Revenge of the Savage Planet. Now, I think you might remember me talking about the Savage Planet and how awesome it was. It's just ridiculous. Well, are you ready for these boasts? Louder, gooier, and dumber. That's what it's going to be. I love it.
Is that the marketing? Is that the marketing spin?
I don't even know where I picked that up, but that was fantastic.
I saw a preview for this the other day. I'm pretty sure, and it was like, I think people were saying it doesn't seem as good as the first one.
I mean, it'd be hard to follow, if I'm honest, because it was that unique in comedy. Yeah. It was just
it's
crazy.
also third person, this one, I think.
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah.
But split screen.
Okay.
That's cool.
That's great.
Hopefully it sticks to landing.
If we don't look at him, he might go away. 8th of May, PS5, XS, and PC. You ready?
Nice.
You ready for the big one? You ready?
I'm ready.
Doom Dark Ages.
Oh, yeah.
You know we're all waiting for it.
And what a strange time to release a Doom game.
Yeah. May.
May, yeah.
Didn't the last Doom game come out in May? Eternal.
It feels like it should be a September or October game.
I think
because it's kind of like grim and Halloweeny.
Yeah.
But Doom Guy does love his rabbit, and this is quite near Easter.
When you say his rabbit, Joe,
yes.
Please can you elaborate?
I will explain no further.
He's bunny rabbit.
Basically, the original lore for why Doom Guy is going on his rampage is because hell opened up on Earth and his pet rabbit was murdered.
I think they might retcon that.
No. In Eternal,
there's a picture of the rabbit.
I know there is, but I think this one is the prequel, isn't it? So
yes.
they might retcon that.
Yeah. I want to see the rabbit, God damn it.
I reckon it's got something to do with time travel.
We'll see. But I'm excited to play it. I think depending on how Dragon Age goes will depend on whether I pick it up straight away.
I've heard that it plays a lot different. I've heard it's almost like a bullet hell.
It plays slower.
It's slower but still fast.
Yeah.
But it's more like a bullet hell and you're like kind of parrying bullets back and stuff, and then you're getting up close and personal.
Exposed shield.
Did you say when it comes out, Ben?
15th of May, PS5, XS, and PC.
The reason I wanted you to say that is because I actually go on holiday on that day, so I can't play it.
We'll send you pictures, don't you worry.
I get back off holiday 2 days before.
Yeah.
So. You could borrow Ben's Steamdeck.
You have to fight Anya for it.
Yeah. Should be playing Doom.
that is all I've got written down. Anybody else want to chip in?
There was a couple that I know have been talked about in the past. So Metal Eden is coming out on May 6th, PS5, PC, and the Xboxes. I think that was showing it off in the recent State of Play. Looks
name rings a bell, but I can't.
Yeah,
I did see it, but I felt selfish today and
it's a bit.
List the ones I
it
wanted
looks
to play.
very character action.
It looks like a super well polished game, but I've just not had that much marketing.
I'm not gonna say mech, but it's sort of that robot.
You have a suit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exosuit type.
Yeah.
And then, does anyone remember that Linked game?
Oh, yeah, with the Y.
Yes.
Linked with the Y, yeah.
Banner of the Spark. So that's like a roguelike, I think it's 3-player co-op, top-down-ish.
Again with the 3.
I know. That's PS5, PC, Xboxes, May 22nd. Which it just doesn't feel like it's had a lot of marketing behind it, so I thought I'd just better bring it up.
There was more games coming out in May than I expected.
I think we say that every month.
But there was quite a few that I knew of. I just didn't realise were coming out in May.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But that's it, I think.
I'm gonna throw out a quick one. I haven't played a Doom game since Doom 2.
Wow.
Did you not play
on PC?
Nope. No, I played it on the 32X, I think.
Did you not play 2016 or Returnal?
Not played either of them.
Oh, you're missing out
fantastic.
there. Yeah.
So
You're going to be pleasantly surprised.
Well, I want to go Dark Ages first and then work back, I think. But it's all about time.
Yeah.
The factory has to grow first. So
you'll play very differently, I believe.
They do.
Like I know the 2016 and
the factory might have to grow, but the demons have to be slain.
Yeah.
Oh no, there's issues.
Rip and tear. Rip.
That's cool. What do you reckon? I should try some socials.
I think you should give it
a go. Yes.
Oh, you can email us questions at gaminggarmish. I forgot.
At gmail.com?
Yeah.
That one?
That one. Yeah. I knew I'd get that one wrong. I always get that one wrong. You can find us on Insta. You can find us on...
Doesn't have to just be questions, by the way. You can just email us.
You can?
Just to tell everyone to shut up. Stop making the show. Stop making the show.
One that just says, next.
You can find us on most of the socials, Instagram, Facebook, Blue Sky, everywhere. We're all over. Just type in Gamish game. I can't even say
Gamish Garnish.
Type in Gaming Garnish
Amish Gaming
podcast into Google and we will pop up everywhere. You know what? If you're already here, you don't need the socials. You found us. Well done. Yeah. Welcome.
And there's the Discord as well.
There is the Discord.
Let's do a special segment, Brad.
Let's do a special segment.
So this time it's based on a question from the Discord.
It is.
It is indeed.
Would you like to read it out, Jake?
Yeah, I've got it here. It's from Clancy 1994. So he basically says, would love to hear the group's thoughts on the current issue with pre-ordering games and its horrible effect on the state of gaming. Would just love to know the group's opinion as to why still pre-order. And then he puts some context below. He puts, for context, when I see reveal trailers on YouTube, the comment section is usually full of, remember, no pre-orders. But alas, it seems too many people still pre-order games. Personally, I believe this is fueling the current issue with games being undercooked and undelivered. My only logic at the moment is a case of FOMO, fear of missing out, or even more serious cases, I believe addiction could be a possibility, unfortunately, for why people are doing it in general. So,
couldn't agree more with the pre-order scenario. It is an undercooked games world. We're never getting things finished anymore.
It's a very good question. Obviously, thank you for sending that in, Clancy at 1994. We've definitely talked about it before, but we wanted to bring up the question because we've never drilled into it.
Yeah, we've never looked at it with this kind of lens before.
Yeah. So as Ben said, I think he's spot on with most of it. I don't necessarily agree with the addiction part.
See, however, that's the bit I agree with.
Ooh, elaborate.
Because
as Joe's shaking in the corner,
in the world,
the factory must grow.
The world we live in, there's very rarely silence. Whether that be, there's always like a TV on. You've always got music on. There's YouTube on. There's
Tension
like you've always got a scroll
Gaming
going on your phone. Yeah, you got the podcast on while you're driving, walking.
We are part of the problem.
You never have a space between things, and I think the reason people like get stuck into pre-ordering is not just the FOMO of if I don't pre-order it, I'll miss it out, because that's gone now with digital gaming. It's I'm going to finish a game. I need the next one to be there available for me when I've finished it.
Okay.
So I'm not waiting for a game to come out.
So I interpreted it slightly different. The FOMO side, I interpret in the way that I would agree with, that people aren't scared, or people are scared that they will miss the cultural moment for a game.
That's what I was
the
thinking.
hype wave.
Yeah. So like, I want to play Assassin's Creed Shadows because I think it looks good, but the further away from release, and we're talking a month away from release as we record this, the further away we get in, the more I'm forgetting about it.
The more it becomes irrelevant to the conversation.
So then it becomes hard to go back. That's why I've got backlogs. So I think the FOMO thing is why people want to get in there.
Veilguard, for example.
Yeah, but I'm only playing that because it's free.
Yeah, it was free on PS Plus.
Yeah.
But then you get like games like the Oblivion remake, and everybody's playing it right now because it's massive.
Yeah, but it's shadow dropped, so a lot of people have dropped what they're doing.
Yeah, to play it. I mean, in this instance,
you can't
pre-order
it. Did see a little bit of a skit on that. A guy on TikTok was saying how the world's going through issues today. This is how I found out Oblivion came out, by the way. The world's going through issues today. All mid-30s males have rang in sick to work because Oblivion was shadow dropped.
Yeah.
I saw another joke about the Pope.
Yes.
Yeah, let's not go there.
Yeah, Pope shadow dropped.
Pope dies and the Oblivion gates open. What can I say?
Jesus.
Anyway.
Not Jesus. That's the wrong thing to say.
Oh, he came back.
But I get you and that, Brad, with FOMO, because I think, I think that's the only real FOMOing the industry. I feel like that's sort of valid, that you would want to get in on the conversation as everybody's diving into it.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why people pre-order games.
The games that I know people pre-order the most are your games like FIFA.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's where I understand this addiction sort of conversation sort of coming back in, because people, I'm not sure whether they are addicted, but they always want the new FIFA, because at that point, the old FIFA is irrelevant.
Yeah.
It dies a death as soon as the new one's out.
Exactly, which I think is disgusting.
Oh, yeah.
But
I mean, and I get Joe's point too, because, the world is it's just consume media.
Speaking as the old man of the group, I only thought the reason for pre-ordering was like your massive titles like GTA, if they couldn't earn solid copies, because this was before the download was there. It was just so that you made sure you got a copy on that night when it came out, because it was that anticipated, and then the shop would sell out. That was the sole reason for me to do it. And that is way gone.
So outside of very, very few games, I don't really pre-order stuff anymore, because you don't need to. Exactly as you just said, you don't need to, especially if you're buying them digitally. So I'm trying to think back to when I used to pre-order games and why did I used to pre-order games. And to be honest, I think it was just because I was excited for them. So having paying for them early or pre-ordering them made it feel like I kind of had them. Like I'd locked it
already.
in. I was more anticipated for it.
Yeah.
You were in the club of people that had pre-ordered.
The amount of times it didn't come on the day.
Yeah.
And I was
you
mean? I remember we both bought Halo 4. Usually we shared games, but we both bought Halo 4.
We did.
And I bought the special edition and paid extra to Amazon for a special delivery, and it came a day late, and yours came on the day.
Well, because me and Brad used to work at Sainsbury's.
Yeah.
Back in the day. I put one aside at Sainsbury's. So I could get it. And I literally just went, I don't think you were working there at the time. You would have been too young. But I'd literally just put one aside, and then as soon as it came out, bought it and left. So that's why I got it early. And I remember you pestering me on the day
can I have a go?
Please. Please. So we just play multiplayer all night.
But that's why I used to pre-order games. Now that kind of doesn't really work anymore, especially digital. Now, the other thing is digital pre-orders or any sort of pre-orders where you get pre-order bonuses, how many times have you bought a game after the fact and still got the pre-order bonus?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like been active for like 2 weeks after the game released.
Yeah.
So I don't.
I had a horrible thought there. On the whole, making sure you get a copy of it. If, for instance, say GTA 6 is that big that the world couldn't take the strain of the downloads, are you going to start paying for priorities?
Priority download.
You'll preload it. Because that's the other thing with digital these days, you can always preload.
That's true.
So I genuinely
God, I hope they don't start doing that though. Priority download that. A horrible flash in my mind there.
Ideas.
We'll redact all of that.
I genuinely don't know why someone would nowadays. I don't know what you get out of it.
I think the last game I pre-ordered, in fact, I know what it was, and it was a good game. It was God of War Ragnarok.
But the thing
that was only a week before it came out.
And these are the few games that we did Spider-Man.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that came out.
And those were physical, weren't they? That you got?
No, those
are digitally. Because I knew I wanted to play. I knew that was going to be the game.
Okay, so the one benefit for pre-ordering digital is you can preload it.
Yeah,
and it can be ready as soon as.
Usually, in that case, it was I'd seen reviews for it.
Yeah,
a few days before and gone, okay, it is good. Pre-order
because the embargo had ended.
Yeah.
Yes, so I think pre-ordering games is fine in that context. If it's digital, you want to preload it so it's ready straight away and the reviews are out.
Yeah.
Or you can refund it after the reviews come out, all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I will let that slide because we do it.
I wonder how much pre-ordering's dropped off because there's all these quote unquote incentives now where it's like, gain early access. Play the game 2 days early.
It's not for pre-ordering, it's for paying more.
Well, yeah, it is. And then it's like you're paying more to get a worse game usually because the day one patch hasn't come out.
Get a free carrier pack.
Yeah.
I think pre-order numbers are a big deal for companies.
Investors.
Yeah, and investors because it gives them an idea of how well a game's going or potentially going to perform. But I don't think it's the be all and end all. No, but that's why they push it.
I agree with Clancy. Don't pre-order. In general, at least wait till the reviews are out. The last one that bit me in the arse was Cyberpunk. Yeah, that's the last physical game I downloaded.
But the reviews for that were good. But everyone did say we don't know what the consoles are like.
Yeah, and then the one before that was Fallout 76.
Yeah.
So,
you've had a rough run.
Yeah,
but so that every time I have done that in the last 10 years, I've usually been burned by something. Not always.
I would recommend everyone just make as informed a decision as you can because if you can pre-order and still be informed if A, the developers are super transparent because sometimes they are, and B, if the embargo lifts before the game comes out. Yeah. But in the circumstance where that doesn't happen, I would say just wait till you've got all that information.
You don't have to play the game day one.
It is nice to.
It's nice to, but I find myself personally just not.
Most of the time, we're as adults that play games, we don't have time to play it on day one.
Well,
because we're at work when it comes out.
But if it's a game I'm super excited
playing something else.
Yeah.
Unless I've specifically gone, right, I've finished this game because I know this game's coming out and I need to finish this game before that comes out. I usually don't have time. Doom, Dark Ages, really want to play it. I might not play that for a couple of months after it comes out, even though it's one of my top most anticipated games of the year. But
I have had times where I've prioritized like Spider-Man or God of War, the two we mentioned.
Same.
And I took days off work to play them because I really wanted to. So that made more sense for me to pre-order. But again, I came from a position of being as informed as I could about that game because the reviews were out. I had no more information than I would have got if I just waited. You know what I mean? Because I had all the reviews. I had all the people that I would normally listen to anyway. I already had their opinion, so I knew what it was going to be like. If I'd waited, I wouldn't have had any more information. Yeah. So it made sense. But that's usually not the case.
You've also got to think about all of us talking, probably everyone in our Discord and everyone who's really in the gaming and knows everything about gaming, what's going on. Yeah. We know not to pre-order. But the normal people,
the normies,
with lack of a better word, I suppose. They don't know anything about this. They just see a cool game from a trailer and go, Assassin's Creed's back. I'll pre-order that. I want to play the next one. Or next Call of Duty. Yeah, I want to get on that. I'll pre-order that.
What about if it's some people basically play nothing but, say, the new Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
And they're going to get it anyway. Even if the reviews are bad, they're going to get it.
Yeah.
So... But
you're always going to have those people.
Yeah, but that gets us on to, I think, the second half of the question, which is what do we think the impact is of people pre-ordering games? And I think, again, Clancy is spot on that the impact of people pre-ordering games is games companies can get away with more.
Definitely.
And
make the because they're getting like a large section of their payoff before the game.
And even if a big chunk of them...
It could flop in the gamer's eyes, but in their eyes, they've still got their money.
And even
if you get to play it a week early and it doesn't work.
But even unless it's like severely broken, most people won't bother refunding.
Yeah.
So even if they do get a few refunds, they probably don't care.
It's definitely not fair. It definitely shouldn't be a thing. But I mean, I love Pokemon. But I always come back to Pokemon and they've been bringing out
the worst games.
Some good games, guys.
And they're finished products that don't get updated.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
The pre-orders for them and the sales for them still do well every single time, even though the game's ass.
The game's ass. No, I think it's Pokemon AZ. Pokemon ass.
Pokemon as.
Actually,
maybe I'm part of the problem because I've bought some of these Pokemon games and they play okay, but they could be so much better.
But did you pre-order them?
No, I used to.
Yeah. The last one I pre-ordered was Pokemon X.
I think mine was
Sun and Moon. Sun and Moon was the last one. Yeah, that I pre-ordered. But I've bought a lot of them.
They don't come with anything if you do pre-order them, so there is no real incentive because they're not massive multiplayer games that have a big community of if you go here you find this, because it's not gameplay imperative if you do.
But one time
Elden Ring,
I remember getting a little Pokeball that held my DS games in it.
That's
pre-ordering it, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
you could buy that without pre-ordering it though.
But
it'd probably mega money.
Free.
Paid free
for pre-ordering it.
Speaking of physical pre-orders, nowhere does midnight releases of games now, do they? You used to be able to pre-order at a game store.
I bet.
And then go and pick up your copy at midnight.
I bet GTA
San Andreas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
GTA probably will.
I went to
GTA 6.
I went to Asda for $5.
But I think a lot of supermarkets just open at midnight or open through midnight.
But it wasn't an event. I remember when Smash Ultimate came out.
Yeah.
I was at uni and the local game did a mini tournament.
That's cool.
At midnight when it came out, because no one had any boosted knowledge of who played how.
And you beat everyone.
No, I didn't take part. You had to sign up for it.
Okay.
But it was fun to watch.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I remember we did Skyrim.
Skyrim was
queuing up and they were playing it.
Yeah, somebody had set it up so that they'd hit the chicken or something, so everybody in town was fighting you. In the demo that we played. So everyone just kept grabbing the controller and getting beaten to death by the townsfolk. But I remember doing it once where, don't mock me, I got one of the FIFAs.
Next.
But I didn't queue up.
I think that silence said it all, didn't it?
I went on a night out, teenage years, with some of our friends, and basically I just got a taxi to Asda. Walked into Asda at 3 a.m, no queues, bought the next FIFA. I remember the day it came out.
I remember you doing that. You did the Xbox One, didn't you, with a friend?
GTA 5.
And you said it was dead.
Oh, when was that?
It was when the Xbox One first came out, and you went on release midnight with some.
Oh, it might have been PS4.
No, because I remember it being Xbox because it was dead. Okay. Yeah. It was with your friend from uni. Remember you telling?
No, I think that was the PS4 actually, because he was a PlayStation guy.
Was he?
But he turned up at 12 midday.
Yeah,
and he was the first one in the queue. So that's why it was dead. And yeah, so he did get a bit bigger, but it wasn't a massive queue.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pre-order consoles.
Yeah.
I do that.
Consoles are a different thing.
They'll go up in price.
Yeah, they'll go up in price, or you won't be able to get one.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of, I didn't bring this up in the Nintendo thing, but the Mario Kart bundle. That's not going to be a thing forever, apparently.
Really?
In 6 months' time, it's...
Well, don't put pressure on people to pre-order it now that you've just said don't pre-order.
This is what... This is
the
what
pre-order bonus is you pay 20 less quid.
Yeah, this is what they're trying to do with it, though, isn't it? It's, oh yeah, we'll offer you this great deal.
Now.
But you'll be paying the $80 later.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
nice.
Mario Kart come with like every Switch nowadays. Like 7 or whatever it is, 8.
Oh, 8 on the last ones.
Yeah.
Pretty much, but they'll probably redo it, but it's just stupid.
Yeah.
But, I suppose to tie it up, I just, wouldn't recommend pre-ordering games. You might as well just wait until they come out, see reviews, look at people you trust.
If the game's going to be good, chances are the reviews will come out before the game comes out.
Yeah.
Typically.
And you also got to remember, a lot of the people reviewing the games, they might not do it quite as service because they're playing it without anyone's help.
Yeah,
and when a lot of the time the games come out, they don't have any sort of review copy of like how to go somewhere in the game.
So they do actually usually get a guide.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But it's not as comprehensive as like a Reddit thread where someone tells you every aspect of
but they usually do get
the lakes.
Yeah. They usually do get some sort of guide to help them.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
And they only have a set time to get that review done. So if they only have a week to play it, that might not be a fully fleshed out review of if someone who had a month or two to play it.
No, I've noticed more and more reviewers I watch be quote unquote late with reviews these days as well. Yeah. Just because there's too much to play.
Yeah,
definitely.
But bottom line, unless you are really confident in something, or you literally, even if it's got terrible reviews, you're going to play it anyway.
You're just really excited for that.
Yeah. I would avoid pre-ordering and just get
the only reason for me is that you get a really cool trinket, like the Fallout thing. There was a Pip-Boy that came with one of them.
These are special editions.
I get what you're saying. They sell out. Those do sell out.
Because you can't get hold of them. But that, for me, is the only reason. Otherwise, just don't pre-order. There's not a world now that you need to do it in.
Yeah. But you do make a good point. If there's a special edition, like The Witcher 3 had a cool statue that you just can't get now.
Yeah.
So you have to pre-order it. Yeah. If there's something like that you really want, you're thinking, that's cool. I want the game anyway, but I really like that trinket or whatever it is. Maybe you can pre-order it because you're not just getting the game. The game could be broken, terrible, whatever, but you still get that cool trinket you like.
To actually be
just come to me. What my last one was.
Go on.
I pre-ordered Resident Evil 6.
Oh wow!
Oh god!
I got the special. I got the special edition.
Yeah.
What did that come with?
It came with a little monsters book to tell you what the creatures were in 6.
You mean what should have been in the manual?
Yeah, exactly. It was artwork, but a shield for RPD, a hoodie, and there's something else. I can't remember what it is. It was crap though, so I forgot it.
I've never bought one of those.
I really wish they came out after the fact because there's sometimes games like Ghost of Tsushima. When I played that, I thought I was going to enjoy it, but I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
to the point where I was like, I would have loved to have bought the mask that came with the special edition, but now you can't because now it's
sold out.
And because it's
3D printing.
Yeah. I suppose just to quickly bring it back to how the industry's kind of going with it, it's affecting the industry in a way where these people are bringing out unbaked games because people are pre-ordering it, they're already getting the money, and they're like, we'll fix it later. And if they don't get that many people buying the games,
they don't
need to fix it.
Yeah.
Because
or if they leave it long enough.
They've already got that money.
There's very, very few developers that do everything that they've said they're going to do.
Yeah.
Or and more. And that actually brings me to something we did mention in the news, which is Lords of the Fallen.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
That's just come out. It's not just come out, it came out 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And it had a mixed reception. A good example of a game you probably shouldn't have pre-ordered because it looked great, but when it came out, it was mixed. It was fine. They did loads of updates on it, but they still just weren't quite nailing it. Anyway, they've just done a 2.0 update 2 years after the fact. Sounds like it's addressed everything. People are really happy with it, and they've put loads of content in it. They've put a friend pass in it, so only one person has to buy the game.
I think cross-play's in it now.
Cross-play's in it, the co-op's improved, the sound's improved, the gameplay's... They've literally done everything in this free update. And that's an example now where, in hindsight, it's great. Although if you pre-ordered it and you might have been a bit miffed at first, you've got the game eventually.
Kind of the argument of going...
But,
it's like
you've already done it all.
But you've already done it all.
Yeah,
So,
it's kind of like the argument of Cyberpunk too. Like,
sometimes it's better to just wait.
You could have just waited two or 3 years and you would have played a better game.
This is like 5-6 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a hard one.
Yeah, but most developers don't even do that. So you could buy it could be crap, and you could wait years and it still never fix it. So,
don't pre-order games, guys.
Don't.
So I guess that brings us to an end, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Thanks for the question.
I do have a very quick one for you. I debated it as an intro question. Did you know you can catch the original set of Pokemon on Google?
What?
If you Google a Pokemon name from the original set, it will come up with what it is. So Pikachu, for instance, with a little ball at the bottom right of the screen.
Oh, I think I have done this.
At it,
yeah, I have done that.
And you can catch them all.
Yeah, I have actually done that.
If there ever was a waiting room game.
I think you did that around the time Pokemon Go came out.
Cool. Right.
Yeah, I
only discovered this recently.
Yeah. There's other cool things like on Spotify. If you listen to the Star Wars soundtrack on your computer, the loading bar at the bottom to lightsaber, and you can change the lightsaber.
That's cool.
So anyway, I thought I'd throw that out there.
You could say that's an Easter egg.
You could say that's an Easter egg.
We'll bring that back next time.
Nice Easter themed.
So we've been Gaming Garnish. Thank you very much for listening. See you next time.
See ya.
See you later.
See you later.